Look at the skyline of any major city, and you'll see a forest of right angles, towers of glass and steel boxes. Then, you see a Zaha Hadid building. It's like a piece of a different universe landed there. Fluid, explosive, defying gravity, and most of all, defying the very logic of how we think buildings should be assembled. They called her the Queen of Curve, but that nickname sells her work short. This wasn't just about aesthetics. It was a radical reinvention of architectural process from the first sketch to the final welded seam. Her legacy isn't just a portfolio of stunning icons. It's a proof of concept that changed what architecture could be. So how did she do it? How did she move from paintings of fragmented landscapes to buildable, complex structures that dominate cities worldwide? The first critical shift was the embrace of digital tools not as mere drafting aids, but as generative engines. Hadid's office, ZHA, became a laboratory for parametric design. While many firms were perfecting straight lines in CAD, ZHA was pioneering the use of software like Rhino and the visual programming plugin Grasshopper. Here's the key. They weren't just modeling forms, they were modeling relationships. They would define parameters, like sightlines, structural forces, or programmatic adjacencies, and let the algorithm generate a form that responded to those constraints. This is how you get the seamless, continuous curvature of the Heydar Aliyev Center in Baku. There's not a single column or standard cladding panel in the traditional sense. The walls, roof, and floor are all part of a single flowing surface. A pro tip from BM managers who worked on these projects: the entire delivery process had to be reinvented. The traditional 2D drawing set was almost useless. They relied on a deeply integrated 3D BIM model that was shared with every structural engineer, fabricator, and contractor. Every steel beam, every concrete pour, every cladding panel was a unique piece, digitally fabricated based on its precise coordinates in the master model. But a beautiful digital model is just a vision. The real magic was in making it stand up. This is where her collaboration with pioneering engineers like Patrick Schumacher and firms like Arup was non-negotiable. Take the Guangzhou Opera House. Those gigantic asymmetric granite boulders on the waterfront required insane structural gymnastics. The solution involved a complex diagrid steel structure hidden within the double-layered, curved facade, supporting the interior volumes which seemed to float independently. Or consider the London Aquatic Centre. That sweeping, parabolic concrete roof, weighing over 3,000 tons, had to be cast in place. The engineering challenge wasn't just the load, but the construction sequence itself, preventing cracks during curing, managing thermal expansion, and ensuring the formwork could support the unique shapes during the pour. These buildings are triumphs of material science and computational engineering as much as they are of architecture. Her philosophy was rooted in deconstructivism, the idea of breaking apart traditional forms and reassembling them in dynamic new ways. But she pushed it further into a new realm of fluidity and connectivity. Her early paintings, like those for the Peak in Hong Kong, weren't just pretty pictures. They were manifestos showing buildings as landscapes, as forces of nature. A common drafting mistake aspiring designers make when trying to emulate her style is focusing only on the wild form without understanding the rigorous logic beneath. The curve is never arbitrary. It might be optimizing pedestrian flow, framing a specific view, or responding to solar paths. The form is always, in her words, the diagram of forces. Zaha Hadid's ultimate contribution was proving that the most audacious architectural ideas were no longer confined to paper. She demonstrated that with a new digital toolkit, fearless engineering, and relentless conviction, you could build the impossible. She didn't just design buildings, she designed a new methodology for the profession.